Okay, so what if Deku's dream didn't work? So let's try this. Hello, 23 sub special. Wow. um, last time I looked at it, it was like 15 subs. Yeah, so 23 sub special. Um, Probably not gonna edit this because it's gonna be way too long. Probably super long. It's probably gonna be like my 10 sub special. Like, probably gonna be like, what if Deco's link it not. Words. Probably not gonna have an intro or outro. So yeah. Sorry if I sound more depressing than usual. Um, it's like 8 o'clock. It's like 8:45. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's like 8 o'clock, so I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty out of it. So if I slur up my words and like missing words, oh my god, I forgot. Oh my god, my brain's going to shut down. Oh my god, if I, frick, what was I about to say? Frick. Okay, if I say them wrong, if I say some words wrong and like slur up my words, it's probably because I'm tired. I haven't done anything all day, but I'm still tired. I can't stress this enough. It's 8 o'clock. So yeah, here it is. What if Deku was L, Nier, and Mello, the three smartest people in Death Note? I know this because I looked it up. So yeah, so the ship is light, dark Yagami. Dark Yagami. But frick, I need to stop ranting. I've been ranting for 2 minutes. So we start off with a black-haired boy with white tips being born to triplets, actually, to a white-haired woman and a green-haired man. Half green hair, half black hair, actually. So, I'm gonna say that Inko in this one has, like, I'm gonna say she has strands of black hair in her hair just to make it not. No, she has green hair. Yeah, green and black hair, like in canon. I don't know why I was trying to change it. So she has green and black hair, like in canon. And, Hizashi, aka All-One, has basically white hair. So, he has black hair and white tips. It kind of goes perfect with, like, a mix of, like, L and Nier. He doesn't have any blonde in his hair, but he has that, mellow mentality. Like that that kind of, like, smart psycho mentality kind of thing. So he's gonna be really good with guns, and he's gonna be able to throw hands. Basically, yeah. Because, dang, have you seen L fight? Oh my god, that kick to its jaw, though. That was one of the funniest things I saw. Like that, he could catch L slipping, but nope, he got a kick right to the jaw. So yeah, but if if L can fight, I'm guessing so can Mello and Nier. I'm guessing Mello got more of the fighting mentality than Nier, because Nier acts like a light. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that Deku has a twin sister that's older than him, and a twin brother that's older than him. So he's the youngest out of the triplets. And yeah, so we see a green-haired woman green hair, green and black hair woman with a white-haired man beside her, giving birth to triplets. This one, Inko's gonna die due to childbirth. So sad. I know I don't sound sad in my voice, but again, I'm tired. I don't got, oh my god. Okay, so, yeah, she dies giving birth to triplets. But before she dies, she names one of them, I'm gonna say Hashi. She names one of them Hashi, one of them Izumi. I know it's a pretty common name for the female character, for the female sister of for the sister of Deku, and one of them Light. Yeah. So his name is gonna be Light Midoriya. We also skip to a brown-haired woman and a brown-haired man giving birth to a brown-haired baby. They named this brown-haired baby Dark because of how dark her... Hold up. Wait a minute. Frick, I'm gonna say she has black eyes because of how dark her eyes are. I just gotta change her appearance a bit. Just a wee bit. So yeah, so she has black eyes in this one. And they name her Dark based off of her eyes. Dark Yagami, Light Midoriya. Let's see how this goes. He's gonna be like 10,000 IQ. He's gonna have like a mix of Technoblade and freaking Dream IQ. I'm not gonna make him like that because that would make him way, way, way too overpowered. But in this one, he's not gonna be a hero. He's not gonna be a villain. He's gonna be a freaking detective. So yeah. No, she's not gonna die of childbirth. Yeah, I've got a better idea. So we see green-haired woman giving birth to one green-haired baby, one black-haired baby, and one black and white-haired baby. She names one of them Light. She names one of them Izumi, and one of them Hashi. I'm kind of drawing reference to Hoshi in my other what if, but in this one it's Hashi. But in this one, Izumi is not gonna be bad because I hate how they make Izumi so bad. They really do be doing Izumi dirty. So yeah, Izumi loves her younger brothers to bits, but Hashi absolutely hates Deku because of how smart he is. So we see a 2-year-old Deku solving his 12 times tables, while freaking, I'm gonna say Izumi's really pretty smart. Yeah, Izumi's pretty smart. Oh yeah, he's all for one still does that whole excuse that he has to go to work. But I'm gonna say he loves Deku more. Yeah, all for one loves Deku more because he can see more of him in him. Yes, him. So yeah, he can see more of him in him. So yeah, he loves Deku more off the bat. So he gives Deku a necklace that says L on it, that has an L on it, after he had a creation quirk that he stole. Because of course, after all this stuff, he's gonna steal a creation quirk. Like, it would be useless for him not to steal a creation quirk. So after all this, he's definitely stolen a few creation quirks, so he creates a necklace with an L on it. That's where he's gonna get his whole detective name, L. And also it's gonna be an acronym based off of his name, LM. At first I was gonna keep his name Izuku or Near, or I was gonna make it Near or Mello, but I thought Light was perfect. Cause I happened to be thinking of this while I was down at the creek. If you watch my other videos, you'd know the creek. Yeah. So I was down at the creek one day. I was thinking up this what if. So I looked up some fan art. But then I looked up the 3 smartest people in Death Note. And it showed up L, Near, and then Mello. So, frick, L, Near, and Mello now. At first I was gonna make it L, Near, and Light. L, Near, and Kira. And you say, oh yeah. We see he's Hashi, not Izumi. Hashi bullying Deku because he's the youngest, but he's also the smartest. He's already solved his 12 times tables. Enko was really surprised because he's only like 2 years old and he can already solve his 12 times tables because he's a prodigy. But then a year or 2 later, something horrible happens. No, 3 years later, Deku has his quirk evaluated as a super intelligence quirk, super agility quirk, super regeneration, basically super everything. And his quirk is gonna be called Joker. Basically, he can copy any quirk, any move, anything he sees, he can copy. But he also has an intelligence quirk, like a really good intelligence quirk. So yeah, we skip a year later. A man with a ski mask on, breaks into their house. So Inko, trying to protect her children, of course. Inko, of course, is gonna protect her children. She dies in the attack. So yeah, they're put up to adoption. Deku is put into special classes because he's super duper smart. Because he's really smart. So, of course, he's put into special classes. They get put into, and his brother and sister are put into regular classes. Hashi finds himself offended that his younger brother is put into special classes and he's not. But Izumi, she's happy for her younger brother, so she doesn't really care. All she wants is her little brother to be successful. And she thinks special classes would do that for him. And growing up, he's never been obsessed with heroes or anything. He's loved detective cases, murder cases, rape cases, all those types of cases. So one day, a man, I'm going to say Tsukushi, a detective comes in actually. He's sad, so he wants a companion, a child, to warm his cold heart. He wants a young child to warm his cold heart. And he finds Deku. Deku and his brother and sister. So I'm gonna say 3 people came in that day. No, it's just Tsukishima. So he sees Deku and how smart he is. He thinks he'll be a perfect detective. A perfect little detective side buddy. But he finds his older sister and his older brother too. He finds it a 3-in-1 package. So he adopts all 3 of them. So now it is Light Tsukishima, Izumi Tsukishima, and Hashi Tsukishima. So naturally, they'd be introduced to All Might. And I'm gonna say All Might loves, All Might loves, frickin' Izumi and, and Deku to bits. But she doesn't like Hashi. She doesn't like how arrogant he is. So they're put into preschool, and they meet this guy named Bakugo Katsuki. I'm gonna say Bakugo's really, really impressionable. And one day, I'm gonna say, okay, so, I'm gonna say that Izumi has a high tier, telekinesis quirk. So yeah, I'm gonna say Izumi's quirk, which would have been a, already high tier telekinesis quirk, mixed with an enhancement quirk that All For One had, and made it maybe like a 10th gen telekinesis quirk. So she can pick up a lot of stuff. And Hashi just got a pyrokinesis quirk. But I am gonna say, I'm not gonna do him dirty. I'm gonna say that if he trains hard enough, his flames can turn blue. But only like a few strands of blue, not like a lot of blue. Not like completely blue. Maybe like a few strands of blue here and there, like Endeavor's quirk. So instead of Hashi looking up to All Might, he looks up to Endeavor. So Katsuki, he's very impressionable. He got his explosion quirk, and he was really proud of himself. But he didn't get cocky. That's where Hashi comes in. You see, Hashi does a bit of convincing to Bakugo to hang out with him. So Katsuki hangs around Hashi, and through hanging out with Hashi a lot, Hashi really gassed him up and got him all cocky. So basically, that's how Bakugo came to be Bakugo in this story. So yeah, Deku doesn't really care, but Izumi being Izumi, she does care. So yeah, Tsukishima adopts them. They're introduced to All Might, and yeah, they go through middle school. Not middle school. Frick. They go through elementary school. Deku grew a liking to Bakugo. He's not so arrogant that everyone in the series hates him. He's just a wee bit arrogant. He's like Hinata arrogant. Yeah, that's how arrogant he is. That's about how arrogant he is. He's like Hinata arrogant. Like, he knows he can win, but he's not gonna like scream at the top of his lungs like, I'm the best. That's what Hashi was trying to get him to be like, but it didn't work. Bakugo still hangs around Hashi, but he's not so but he's not as cocky as Hashi. He's that one cocky kid, but that you can't help but love. He's pretty cocky, but he's not too cocky. He's not too cocky that you'll hate him, but he's definitely so cocky that it could get annoying after a while. So yeah, Deku builds up a liking to Bakugo, and he has Bakugo hanging around him more, causing his intelligence to rub off on him a bit. So yeah, Bakugo is pretty smart in this one. You know, I'm thinking, should I be able to... No, I'm not gonna give him one for all. No, I'm not gonna give him one for all because first of all, he could just copy one for all. And second of all, in this one, he doesn't need one for all. Because if you have a copy quirk like his, a copy quirk and a super everything quirk, if you have a super intelligence quirk and a freaking copy quirk, that's all you really need. Like, he can find ways to evolve one for all, but he won't need one for all. And Alma's gonna know this, so... And she's also gonna know Deku's personality. So, so... She's not gonna offer Deku one for all. She's gonna offer Izumi one for all. Because Izumi, she's like Deku in the canon, but a bit less of a crybaby. Like she can take a punch from a few dudes. Like if she sees her younger brothers messing up, she's not afraid to whoop them right in front of everyone, right in front of all their friends. So like, she's kind of like a female Bakugo, but not as cocky. She's like a she's like a mix of Nami and a Nami-ish personality and kind of like Kushina a bit. Yeah. So yeah, she's kind of like Kushina and like Nami a bit. Like, she's not afraid to hit you. She's not afraid to whoop you right in the middle of the store. and dang, can she fight? So yeah, frick. I'm probably not gonna I'm probably not gonna edit this. Probably not. But that's a big probably. I'd have to delete some of the I'd have to delete some of my videos in my archives. Oh man. So yeah, we skip to maybe 4 years later. Let's skip to when they get out of high school. Yeah, when they're like 17, 18. The teacher tells everyone to settle down because they have to do some high school chart. They have to do some waivers of like what colleges they want to go to. And yeah, so then the teacher throws up all the papers like in canon and says, I know all of you want to be heroes. Everyone cheers except for Deku and Hashi. Deku, Hashi. Yeah, Deku and Hashi. Hashi because he's too arrogant, and Deku because he doesn't want to be a hero. So yeah, Deku's writing in his notebook of like some math that of some cases that Tsukishima had him doing. So he's just figuring out so he's just doing some cases, writing them down in his notebook, and basically he's gonna give his notebook to Tsukishima when they get home. So yeah, I'm gonna say that they say that okay, so Hashi, Bakugo, Hashi, Bakugo, Izumi, and Deku. So they say, so the teacher says 4 people want to go into UA. I'm gonna say UA has a detective course. So yeah, Deku wants to get into the detective course of UA. I'm gonna say that's how All Might and Tsukishima met, because Tsukishima was working on a case, and All Might happened to be one of the heroes that he was working with. So they became friends because they had to spend quite a bit of time together. So yeah, no, it's not All Might X Tsukishima. I wish it was, but in this story, it can't happen because then it would be like Mom Might. That just doesn't sound right to me. Maybe in another what if, maybe like, frick, maybe let's look through my archives of thumbnails. Maybe in what if Deku was Gaster Sands. Yeah, that's one All Might's gonna adopt him. And what if Deku was Gaster Sands? So yeah, look forward to that. Yeah. So frick. What was I about to say? Frick. Hashi's going out with some friends, and Deku has to get to Deku's. They say that oh yeah, the teacher says that Deku, Hashi, Bakugo, and Izumi want to go. Everyone expected the beginning 3, but they didn't expect Deku to want to what they assume want to be a hero. Everyone asks, like, do you even have a quirk though, Deku? He's like, yes I do, but I don't show it off like an idiot. It's like, oh. And they say that they didn't know that he wanted to be a hero. It's like, I find being a hero as a useless job. All heroes do is fight villains and get fame. I want to be a detective. You know how UA recently implemented a detective course like 20 years ago? Yeah, but there's like no one in that course. What do you think? I'm gonna say it's Haru Tsukishima. I don't know if it was, but I'm gonna say it was Haru Tsukishima. No, not Tsukishima. Sugihara. Yeah, Haru Sugihara. So yeah, it's like, what do you think Haru Sugihara came from? He came from a UA detective course. I want to be like him. Actually, I want to be better than him. So yeah, everyone remembers that UA had a detective course, and they're like, oh, okay. Frick, my throat hurts. That's what she said. But actually, pause though. Frick. I'm gonna go get some water. Okay, so this might be a bit overkill, but I got like a bag and put like bottles of water into it. Smartest idea yet. Oh, frick. Oh, so yeah, frick. So yeah, they remember that there was a detective course in UA, and they all go home. Hashi tries to burn Deku's notebook, but then Deku reminds him if he does that, he might go to jail, causing him not being able to be a hero because he has a criminal record. But because all this has like all the recent like cases, basically like robbery cases, murder cases, all that kind of case, all those cases that Sugihara thought Deku liked, because Deku usually likes like murder cases, robbery cases, all those kind of cases. Anything involving like murder or someone being robbed, he just loves those kind of cases. So he basically gets the sheriff off their back about having them solve more cases. So if like someone someone does something to his notebook, basically like they might have to go to jail because basically they think that he's working with the people in the notebook. He also writes down about heroes and quirks and stuff that he sees, and also like martial arts that he sees. I'm gonna say I'm doing the same thing as in What If Deku Was Technoblade. I'm gonna say that Deku, that not Deku, but freaking Mori, Ilpio, and Dewi are all heroes. Yeah, I'm doing the same as in What If Deku Was Technoblade. So yeah, frick. So yeah, he writes down their martial arts, and once he writes down a hero in his notebook, he studies them for maybe like 2-3 weeks, and then like studies under them for maybe like 1 to 2 months, maybe 3 months if he doesn't really get the concept, or like if he likes the person, like if he likes their personality. So he's like trained under Edshot. So he's already trained under Edshot and Aizawa and all those people. So yeah, yeah. Basically like the high tier like martial artist heroes. Like he's studied under Dewi, he studied under Ilpio, he studied under Mori, he studied under Aizawa, he studied under Edshot, he studied under all those people. Frick, who are some other people that can throw hands? Frick, he studied under, okay, you can call bullcrap, nah, I'm not gonna do that, because then he'd be way too overpowered. I like my characters to be overpowered, but not too overpowered at the very, very, very beginning. Like, then what's the point of him fighting anyone, really? Because I'm gonna say Deku does fight the villains, like high tier villains, all those people like murderers, all those people. He wants to see their combat prowess and copy their style of combat, so he can build up on himself. So yeah. So before they're put into prison, they usually fight Deku because he wants to study them and see how they tick, basically. And basically the whole Kita case is still gonna go down, but you gotta wait for that. So yeah, I'm gonna say Deku has to head down to the station for some stuff that Sugihara caught him for. Basically some cases that they weren't smart enough to take care of. So yeah. So they need Deku for it. Even though I think Sugihara is a pretty smart dude, he still needs Deku's help with some things. So yeah, he has to head down to the station for to help Sugihara with some stuff. And this is where the whole Kita case starts. And basically everything that happens with Deku in the underpass still happens except Izumi doesn't grab onto All Might's leg, but basically All Might gives Izumi one for all right then and there. Or, oh, I've got a good idea. I've got a really good idea. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you what I've got in store yet, but I've got a way to give Deku one for all. Because I just thought about it. He'd be able to copy more stuff if he got one for all. He'd be able to enhance his one for all with one for all. How overpowered would that be? But that's gonna be later in the story, maybe like episode 3, 4. So yeah, Rick. Oh yeah. So All Might gives Sugihara. No. All Might gives Izumi one for all right then and there, because I'm gonna say Izumi pushed the sludge villain away and then into the walls, splattering it, and then did some weird stuff with her telekinesis, basically condensing the sludge villain into a little ball, basically causing the sludge villain not to be able to move until All Might came in and basically had a bottle with her. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that All Might was a female. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, I need to add someone in the ship. Frick. Melissa's also gonna be in the ship, so she's probably gonna be in the hero course. Her quirk's gonna be Rising Phoenix. She's basically gonna have a higher fire quirk than Hashi. And basically every time she gets injured, her fire gets boosted. So yeah. That's why it's called Rising Phoenix. So yeah, instead she's still a part of this. She's in the hero course and the support course. So yeah, frick. So yeah, All Might this time doesn't drop it because no one's grabbing onto her leg, and safely escorts it to the police station that Deku happened to be at, because Sugihara was there and she didn't know any of the other detectives. So yeah, she greets Deku, and Deku happens to be working on the Kita case right now, because I'm gonna say Sugihara called him in for help him with the Kita case. And yeah. So the whole thing with Dark has already happened. Is all happening right now. She greets Deku, who's currently writing down equations and stuff, and how he can catch Kita, of where she is and how she ticks, because that's how he always does it. The detectives don't get it. The other detectives don't get it, but Sugihara does, because he's his freaking dad. Of course he get how Deku ticks. He likes to see the villains squirm. He likes the villains to know that they're onto them, but he doesn't like to strike at the right moment. He likes to marinate his targets, basically. So yeah. Frick. She gives the sludge villain to she gives it to Sugihara. They put the sludge villain in a freaking Tartarus, where he's shipped off. And yeah, Deku, he does the whole thing with casting the broadcast with that death row inmate. Freaking in the Kanto. Did I just say Kanto? In the Kanto region. So that's how they know where Kita is. So yeah, time to training. Deku's basically studying Kita and how she ticks. All in that 10 months, basically studying Kita. Basically monitoring Kita's every single move. And frick, this one is really good and juicy. Time to training. This is my 23 sub special, so it's gonna be maybe up to part 2. Yeah, I can do up to the sports festival. I've got enough water. Yeah. So yeah, frick. What else? Frick, words. What else should I? What else should I do? Maybe. Yeah, that would be good. So, Deku's walking to UA, and he meets up with Izumi, and he also meets this new girl. He meets this girl named Satorurika. She has an obsession of sweets, like Deku, surprisingly. And, of course, frickin'. And she's taking the hero course, while Deku's taking the detective course. Because he finds heroes as useless, because they can't finish the job. And they don't really solve the thing. They don't really solve it. They just put the villain in prison. Which what's that gonna do compared to solving the freaking case of the villain? He sees that as like a higher merit than just like fighting the villain. So yeah, because Deku's the one that finds the villain, finds the way that the villain ticks, finds the best way that the villain could be taken down. he does all this stuff while the hero just takes down the villain and gets the credit. So yeah, Deku walks into the detective course thing, and it's basically like the hero course. He still has recommendation. They have like recommendations and freaking. They have like the recommendation exam. They have the regular exam. Deku's taking the recommendation because he doesn't want to work that much. And plus, he was gonna get it anyway because his father is Sugihara, and he's already a great detective. He solved up to like 200 to 300 cases already. So yeah, he takes the whole exam, and he shows them his notebook, and he gets in. So yeah, frick. Also, I'm gonna say that Dark is in their class. So yeah, Deku's in a meeting with the teachers, thinking that and he also put it in between, like in like after school hours, and like in between school, so he knows that L, not L, that frickin' that frickin' that frick that Kita is also a college student. So yeah, he suspects that Kita is in class 1A. So you know what he does? This mad lad comes up with a new name. He calls himself the name that that L has in canon, Loyal. So he calls himself Near Loyal. Yeah, Near Loyal. That's his alias. When his actual name is when his actual name is Light. When his actual name is Light Light Sugihara. So if Kita tries to write his name in the Death Note, he's gonna know that Light is Kita. Not Light is Kita, but Dark is Kita. And that wouldn't be good for Dark. So she keeps it slow while she's in like school and college and stuff. But he notices that freaking Dark is pretty suspicious. So I'm gonna say that Deku comes up with this theory. He's usually he watches everyone in the class like a hawk. But he sees that that Dark has a secret compartment in her backpack. So one day he goes snooping around in people's backpacks while they're at lunch. But for some reason, he can't get into the secret compartment. And also, he sees that once he tries to get into it, sparks of flames happen. And he doesn't want to burn it. He doesn't want to burn the main evidence that Dark is Kita. So yeah, now he knows how Dark kills, and he mainly puts his eyes on frickin' Dark. But of course he tells his big sister about this, because if he didn't, she'd most likely beat it out of him. so he might as well tell her while he can. And I'm gonna say that Ida and Todoroki love Dark because I just like making them dirty little simps. Simps. Those wretched simps. So yeah, so yeah. Also he keeps an eye on Melissa because if frick if if frick if Kita finds out that Melissa is the niece of All Might, she might go after her. And he doesn't want that, so he's usually keeping an eye on Melissa too. And also Sato is Sato Rurika. He tells Rurika to keep an eye on Dark too. So and Rurika always thought that Dark was kind of fishy and she didn't like it. So she was always keeping an eye on Dark, but that just gave her a reason to. So only like maybe like 4 people know in the class know that Deku's a detective, and that he's investigating Class 1A. So yeah, the whole killing go on, and the person that's and L finds out that Kira has access to police information, and that's not good. So they put people on the families of the Kita task force. So yeah, and the person that's monitoring Dark's father's family dies. So that gives him even more reason to suspect Dark, but Dark doesn't know that L suspects her. So yeah. Frick. Frickin' yeah. So yeah, that was the biggest mistake that Dark made in that whole Kita thing. So he starts hanging around Dark a lot more, and he develops a relationship with her, but only for the mission. No. So yeah, he develops a relationship with her. So everyone thinks that they're dating, except for Rurika, Melissa. I'm gonna say Bakugo knows because he's pretty smart, and he noticed that Deku's been watching her, and since he went to the same high school as him, he knows that he's in the detective course, and he also knows a bit about the Kita case because he knows how to do his digging, and he figures out that he suspects Dark as Kita, so Bakugo also keeps an eye on Dark and witnesses that and sees that Dark's pretty suspicious. So he also told Bakugo about his plan, and Bakugo also thinks he's crazy because if Kita is as smart as they think, she might not fall for it unless And Bakugo's like, oh no, dude, you're not gonna. Bro, you're insane. You're planning on dating a mass. You're planning on fake dating a mass murderer? This girl is crazy, dude. You don't know what she could do to you. It's like, does she know your real name? She's like, no, she doesn't actually. Like, oh. Oh yeah, in our class, you're near Lori. Near Lowell. So yeah. Of course, didn't suspect a thing, so yeah. He develops a relationship with her. He starts getting closer and closer. Then Dark asks him out. And yeah, frick. So frick. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what frick what Deku looks like. He looks like L, but with he looks like L, but with white hair at the tips. He looks like a younger version of L, but with white hair at the tips. So yeah, he's also really good at fighting because he knows Ritekion, he knows Kushin Karate, and he knows he knows Renew Taekwondo. He knows all the moves that Mori Jung does. He knows all the moves that Mori Hui created, Mori Jin, and he's also creating moves for himself. So yeah, frick. Dark asks him out, and of course Deku sees this as an opportunity to get closer. So of course he accepts it. So it gives him a reason, even more of a reason to hang around dark. So yeah, and this time he actually does start to fall for freaking for Dark, and his ambitions change just a wee bit. He thinks that it would be really helpful to the community if Kita was a hero, and it would be really cool because because she'd be like the executioner hero, only being sent out for like really high class missions that like the prisoners would be put on death row like immediately, or be like killed on sight. So yeah, she'd be like Kira the executioner. Ooh, the executioner hero Kira. Ooh, that sounds so good. And also Deku, I'm gonna say he loves drama, and he likes things that sound cool. Like he likes hero names that sound cool, like Eraserhead, Endeavor, Midnight, Ectoplasm. People like that. Freaking like Bloodhound. People like he loves like cool hero names. So he thinks that that Dark's name, if she became a hero, would be the executioner hero, Kita. That sounds so dope, actually. So yeah, frick. So yeah, um, one day, he asks, um, freaking Dark to join the investigation of Kita. Also, so he can keep more of an eye on her. And, he's waiting and waiting. She's waiting. He's waiting for her to get more cocky, starts making mistakes. Like, she start. He's waiting till for Kita to start like thinking that she's already won when she's actually in the web of his mind. Yes, I I took that line from My Mind by Rustage. It's a really good song. Thank you. You can tough this case. It's easy. It's nothing in compared to my mind. Do 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 do. Caught you in the web of my mind. Nee 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 nee. My my intelligence is home to define. Do 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 do. Caught you in the web of my mind. Do no 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 no. My intelligence is honed and refined. In the world of dark, I'm gonna bring the world to light. Also, I took the names from that verse too. In the world of dark, I'm gonna bring the light. So his name would be Light, and Kita's name would be Dark. I found that a cool little detail. Cool little detail. So yeah, frick. So of course Kita accepts, thinking that she can get more information on more criminals and kill more FBI agents that are catching on to her. So she also thinks she can learn the identity of L. And once she finds out Deku is L, she tells the second Kita, her best friend, in this one, to try to kill. No, she tells no, she tries to go into the kill for herself, and she sets a specific time, and she finds out that Deku is actually L. So she writes down near Lawil in the death note. But when Lawil, he happened to be spying on her at that time, she sees the time that he's supposed to die. He's supposed to die, and she sees her crying while she's writing near Lawil. And when Deku falls down from basically a heart attack, or what she thinks is a heart attack, Deku, I'm gonna say he had some ninja wire wrapped around her. As he falls down, and he sees that smirk, he basically tightens the ninja wire around her, basically causing her to be wrapped up and not being able to move. She also drops the death note in that time. So she screwed up as soon as she wrote Deku's name in that death note. It was over as soon as he saw that smirk. As soon as he saw that smirk, it was game over for Dark. So yeah, Deku gets out of the hold that Dark was holding him in, like holding down his arms, and he gets up and says, "You know, That was very amusing. I haven't had a case that fun in a while. Thanks for the fun, Kita. She's like, how did you know? She's like, I knew at our maybe third, fourth day. What? You see, I was snooping through people's backpacks one day, and I noticed that you had a secret compartment. It was pretty well hid, but I saw it because I see all